And welcome everyone to another Logan Community Starcraft event. This time it's the first round of the SC24Life tournament. This is a Bronze and Silver League tournament done just for fun. It is simply a 14-player double elimination best of one tournament until the grand final, which is going to be a best of three. And it's a tournament set up to allow people right after finals to kick back, relax, and enjoy why all of us enjoy games, which is simply the competition and the sheer fun of it. So stepping into this game, we have PvP. We have Kingitchy down here in the maybe the lavender, the light purple. Starting out with the preemptive GG, realizing it and going with, yeah, that's right, good luck, have fun. In the top left-hand corner, we have Shadyr, the blue Protoss. So it's always interesting to watch a PvP. I'm always hoping to see a 4-gate. They're always quite exciting. But it'll be a little bit interesting to see. The interesting thing about this map, which is Agria Valley, is that it's extremely small. I think it was one of the very first maps in the beta, and it's ridiculously small. It does have a very small choke into the main. It's very easy to defend. It is relatively exposed on the sides, so blink stalkers could be used pretty well. Looks like Shadyr going for a pretty fast scout, whereas Kingitchy is just going to go ahead and keep on that probe production. Looks like he is getting a little bit ahead in the worker count because it's actually probably because the pylon was a little bit closer to home, and he's been spending that chrono boost a little bit better. Actually, it's about the same. So it's going to be entirely put to the fact that this pylon was closer, took less mining time off, and it was probably placed a little bit earlier. Gateway going here. Interesting, not electing to wall off. However, maybe the Cyber Core will go here and leave just this narrow choke. We did have a little bit of a scuffle. Looking at the massive APM of these guys, we have Shadyr chilling here in the corner. We have Kingitchy scouting for proxies, trying to make sure there's no tricky business going on. Which, of course, there is. It's just farther away because it was scouted. Doing quite a good job, though, of scouting for everything. He does see. It's like, okay, I see you coming back in. He's probably going to try to fight him off. He's going to go give a scout out on his own. Shadyr throwing down the gas. Kingitchy also throwing down a gas. He's a little bit supply blocked, unfortunately, so this Zealot is not able to come out at any time. He actually gets canceled. And another proxy pylon. So it looks like, where's the Cyber Core? It should have been placed down a few minutes ago, is what it seems like. Usually you see them go down roughly at the 3-minute mark. That's kind of the rough timing that you usually see. However, perhaps he's going for some just straight-up Zealot aggression without the ability to warp in. It's entirely possible. 2-gate Zealot pressure can actually be quite deadly. Usually you'd see it hit a little bit earlier, though. We have another proxy pylon going down over here, this time for Kingitchy. Looking at the worker count, we do have Kingitchy with a slight worker lead. Nothing too major, though. We do have the Zealot discovering the proxy pylon number 1. And keep in mind, most of these proxy pylons are actually required. They're part of the supply. So you got to keep that in mind. We do have the Cyber Core going down. He's looking, knows a little bit preemptive, needs that warp gate. Another, man, proxy pylons galore. PvP is such an interesting matchup to me. Another gate going down. Warp gate is being researched. We have way too many workers on this gas and none on this one. Looks like accidentally clicked and ended up clicking over here. We did the scout from Kingitchy. He actually has no idea what's going on. Strangely enough, you can see chrono boost from the low ground. It's very intriguing to me. Also, no one's holding the watchtowers, which you would assume would be quite important. We do have a Zealot defending over here and another proxy pylon. In a PvP, why would you ever build pylons in your own base? Clearly, Kingitchy's a little bit behind because he's got 3 pylons in his base, whereas Shadyr is definitely the superior player just because he has less in his base. Still, no second gas going down for Shadyr. He's going to be banking a little bit more minerals then. Just be interesting to see how those work. Shadyr is running around, does not know about this proxy pylon or this one. He was so close. That would have been a pretty good blow, getting rid of those proxy pylons. So now they both have proxy pylons, pretty close. This guy walking back should discover this right here. That'll probably go down. He'll actually probably discover both of them. So both of these will likely go down here in a little while. Of course, you might not return all the way home. So production, we have Warp Gate going down, just about done. Chrono boosting that out. He's got 3 gates with a 4th on the way. Oh, am I going to get to see a 4 gate? I love me a 4 gate. He does generally, for most 4 gates, need another gas though. Oh, the proxy pylon getting spotted. Look at the army size. So Kingitchy's actually got a superior army size, superior worker count, and he has thrown down that expansion. He's got 2 gate, 3 gate, and cyber. That's fine. Now Shadyr is supply blocked, so now that he has the ability to warp in, he's simply not able to. And it looks like he forgot that warp gate was finished. He got a little bit of queuing going on. Nothing too bad though. This force over here could be a little bit exciting though. Got to see what's going on. This warping, luckily this proxy pylon was not scouted. The army sizes are almost identical again. Another proxy pylon going down. Another lack of scouting on this one. So it's interesting. Ooh. We have Kingitchy going for a counterattack, or going for an attack. We also have Shadyr gearing up for an attack. This is a little bit late for a 4 gate, but there's nothing back home at all to defend against. So this could be really interesting. There's nothing back here. Shadyr walks right in and says, "You clearly have nothing, my friends. I'm going to shoot all of your base." No response yet from Kingitchy. Checking out, his APM is quite high. He is now deciding to charge in. There's nothing to defend. It looks like it's probably going to come down to a base race. He is warping in buildings. Now 2 of these going down. This Stalker is actually relatively well protected. He should be microing that a little bit more. Focusing down all the buildings that he can. It looks like, yeah, this is totally going to turn into a base race. He doesn't have enough production back home or the ability to take out all of these units. Generally in a base race, you just need to stay in the enemy's base and continue taking out as much as you can, realizing that there's no way that you'll be able to do this. At this point, you need to rely on proxies. You need things all over the map. We do have all the workers going down for both players. Look at the workers count, workers guild. They're struggling back and forth, trying to keep up with each other in the workers guild. The main has been completely evacuated for Kingitchy. Shadyr has taken down all of them. The army size is in favor of Shadyr, actually. It'll just come down to who can find everyone else's buildings first. We do have 2 probes left. No, that's not a probe. We have 2 probes left for Kingitchy somewhere. He's expanding to his enemy's natural. That's always a really good move. I say that a little bit in jest. I always find it absolutely hysterical whenever I'm in someone else's base. Building, because that was the best place, quite literally, for me. Interestingly enough, leaving Shadyr with almost dead stuff. No, okay, he is going to be coming back in to finish it off. Does know that because he did not see that Shadyr was being revealed, he knows that there's another base somewhere. Now Shadyr is taking out all of the things here. The question will be is if he can take this down fast enough. Now remember, there's no income. There is a little bit larger army size for Shadyr. So if there was a direct engagement, depending on how the control went, this is not very much different. This is actually just like 2 Stalkers worth, or a Stalker and a Sentry. It's really quite close. 3 Zealots over here and 2 Sentries versus 3 Stalkers or 3 Zealots and 9 Stalkers. So really it'll just come down to micro and who can find whose buildings first. Shadyr's clearing out the main of his opponent at almost the exact same time that his opponent is clearing out his own main. Now there's a little bit of an awkward position where these other units, they need to help out. Shadyr, what are you doing with your APM? Use it. Okay, so Kingitchy has no idea where the extra base is. He does see that there's a proxy over here. He's going to go check this base over here. He's throwing down another. That's actually not a bad idea. Just throw down buildings anywhere. Now, scouting around trying to find all the buildings. What he really needs to do is come back and defend his main. If he held this high ground, he would do quite well. Oh no, he's going on the low ground! Okay, so... Ooh, this is so close. He has no idea that this is here. He does realize that the probe is going ahead and taking this out. The high ground is now being taken. This probe, this pylon is going to go down. I really doubt this pylon will be killed by a single probe, but you can always hope. He is producing workers. Actually, both are producing workers again, so it's now 4-2. The worker count's still pre-beginning of game level. Stalkers continuing to scout around, trying to figure out what the heck is going on. And now it's really just going to come down to this micro, if they ever decide to attack. This could end up turning into a little bit of a strange situation. Kingitchy, just letting that pylon go, decides he does not want to leave this main base. It's probably a wise decision. Whereas Shadyr is going ahead and clear the map of all of these bad guys. Production, once again, twice as many workers. Huge worker count. Now finally up to post-beginning of game levels again. Remember, started down here. An engagement, perhaps? Not entirely sure what the point of running up here is. Oh, he's going to be able to shoot from the high ground to deny some mining time. It's a great move, actually. Lost some shields. I would have stayed up there a little bit longer. Regen some shields. This could be a very hairy engagement. The Guardian shield does go up. They're chasing down. These are going to be sacrificial zealots. Luckily, these will survive. Keep in mind that these are all the buildings right here. This is it. These guys really needs to get this high ground. If he could hold this high ground advantage, this would be it. If he picked off one or two of these stalkers already, this would make a huge difference in the oncoming fight. He's running down by the side. He really just needs to come down into a gauge. Having a single probe on this watchtower would be invaluable at this point in time. He's going to be defending that. I'm not sure. Oh no. That was bad. It's fine. I got it, guys. It's fine. My graphics card second output broke, so we're making do with one monitor now and much smaller resolution. Oh man. Okay, so Kingitchy is going to be running back home after defeating what he thought was the main base. This one zealot, though, he's like, okay, I've now found home. All of these workers. He's building warp gates. He is going to be producing again. However, now all of his workers are going to be dead. He cannot decide what to do. He knows that there's this thing here. However, he's losing everything at home. He really needs to go. He doesn't have enough money to rebuild another nexus. He needs to save this. He's trying to kill this, but sadly, probes are just not great. Are just not great at all of this. So, going to have a little bit of an issue right here. He's now warping in. His army size is better. He does have enough income. He could use these workers. However, the income tab is now 13-3. Army size. He really just needs to go now. He just needs to go attack. As soon as these come online, the game will be over. The economy advantage is gigantic. He needs to go over and take this out. And actually, but generally, he just needs to come here. Kingitchy knows that this is super valuable. He knows that he's ahead, so he's quite wisely staying at home. The army size still about the same. Production. Shadyr's really trying to catch up in production. It's just going to be very difficult with the number of units mining that he has. He had a little bit of a bank, and he spent all of it, and now that production is back online, it's going to be all she wrote, I think, unless something miraculous happens. For instance, the Anytime Dark Shrine, I would love to see one of those. There's no detection anywhere on the map. However, there's also no way that either of these players could build one at this point in time. No Cybercore. There is a Cybercore. So it could throw down a Templar Archives. Could do it. Maybe a Dark Shrine. I'd love to see that. But continuing to rebuild 19-8, it's so far ahead, I don't see how this could happen. One Zealot, the weakened Zealot, Sacrificial Lamb. Wonderful. I would love to see an expansion to the other person's main. Love it when that happens. another scouting person. So just saying, oh, that's fine, we'll scout. We'll take each other scouting. I'll take your free unit. Now the army sizes are almost identical. And I think it would be almost impossible at this point for Shadyr to come back. Maybe if Kingitchy comes and has a really bad engagement. Remember, Defender's advantage, especially at the high ground, is worth quite a bit. However, it's just not going to be very feasible. He's chrono boosting and building as many workers as he can. He is now up to 12, but he's still down by 10. Look in the income tab, what you're looking at. There's a pretty big difference. That's a zealot, 2 zealots per minute, plus stalker. Like that's a pretty big difference. Both of them throwing down forges, thinking stationary defenses are the bomb. I would like to see one. If you're going to do one, right in here. Get those low ground. He knows they're going to have to walk around at some point. He is now sending another zealot out. He is continuing to produce. This nexus is almost done. The worker count is starting to climb back up for Shadyr. He is now actually supply blocked, believe it or not. He hasn't had to worry about that for a while, so he's throwing down 2 photon cannons and electing not to build a pylon. And he does know he just needs to sit tight. However, the same type of thing is happening back for Kingitchy. So, really be interesting. This is a great move. Should have been holding these watchtowers, getting that better map control. He is continuing, it's staying about the same production of workers. Kingitchy is now going to be double producing though, and will quickly take the lead there. That was a little bit of a risky investment, but it is now going to pay off substantially. He's now going to have 5 gates and a photon cannon that's quite well protected. So it looks like this game is going to be very difficult for Shadyr to pull off. You'd need some sort of a tricky maneuver. For instance, Void Rays. Void Rays to the back of the base. There's quite a bit of aerial distance back here that could be abused. So I'd like to see some sort of creative attack. These pylons here, not quite Artosis pylons, and now especially not, but it would be very hard for all these stalkers to come and attack on this edge. So, however, in the heat of the moment, it's very difficult to think of all of these things, and especially to pull them off. You never know exactly. I, as a caster, have perfect information. Sacrificial Lamb number 8, though, does not. It's a little bit of an interesting decision to scout with the Zealot. They're worth 2 probes. However, when you're this far behind in probes, you kind of need each and every one. So I kind of understand the idea here. Oh, just completely walking in. It's fine. I'm just going to check and see what's going on. No reaction from Kingitchy. He has no idea. There, he sees it. The Zealot's going to get 1 probe kill. Maybe 2. He's going to get 2. Go 3. Go for 3. Do it. Zealot's paid for himself. Good job, Zealot. The worker count has been brought back a little bit more even. However, remember, 2 at a time versus 1 at a time. Robobay, Robobay. They're actually almost mirroring each other's builds, which is ironic because basically they both had to start over completely. The army size is now gone the way of Kingitchy. The supply count is now different by 20. This is going to be really hard to pull back from. However, he is continuing to macro it up, spending that chrono boost. He's got the good vision. It'd just be very difficult. Oh, he's moving most of his workers. Not even most, actually. Half of his workers over. So the game started out quite exciting. They both expanded, did some attacking at the same exact moment, turned into base trade. I really would have liked to have seen some better control of the watchtower by both of these players, especially with how small this map is. Control of both watchtowers basically gives you a vision of every single attack path other than this. So it's quite interesting. I want to see, so Immortals coming out, and nothing coming out from Shadyr. I built the robot. There it goes. Observer. Intelligence is worth a bajillion monies. So now he has 1 Immortal out. Stopped utilizing that. Actually, they're getting back up to decent income levels. I would really like to see Shadyr expand. Oh, it looks like could be a possible engagement. He says, "I've got an Immortal. Let's go, guys." This is a pretty good wall. These cannons right here will be quite good. They're far enough back that it'll be hard to come in and attack. The Zealots need to come forward. The Zealots need to come forward and attack. He's force fielding them out. that's helping and hurting him a little bit. He's got a lot of his own zealots. However, just focusing down these gateways, the stalkers back here are able to get some good shots off. The immortal is actually just purely on building duty. This cannon here doing its full weight, all that it can do. Really, I don't know how he's going to be able to pull this off. The immortal popping out here is great timing, focusing down some stalkers, but getting focused down in return. However, all these stalkers back here, I just don't know how they're going to be able to take out this one immortal. This one immortal is just tanking everything. It's actually not tanking, it's just doing all the damage. Plus 50, not plus 50, total of 50 against armored, which of course buildings and stalkers are both armored. Really should not go out and engage that. I don't know what Shadyr's doing. He's focusing down things. Getting a free stalker. He's going to get another one. That's a very bold move. Get that immortal. Get it. That's the most important unit here. If you could kite that... Oh, should have kited that back. Or not kited. Continue pursuing. 3 stalkers while wounded and 2 zealots. It would have been hard to micro against. The APM there going through the roof. Always love to see that. However, the production is totally in favor of Kingitchy, because remember, he's got the money. He's still got 11 worker count. With immortals, not really excited to see more stalkers. However, the wall is useful. This photon cannon was a boss. Just like to point that out. Also, I'd like to point out that you can come and attack from the other side. You don't have to run through the front. However, that does not seem to matter. He's a battle cry, running into battle, canceling. Good job on the cancels, grabbing that money back. However, with the immortal, he really needs to fall back into the range of the cannon. He needs to fall back. The cannon's outranged, but 2 immortals, this is going to be quite difficult to hold off. He's only got 2 gates, no production out of this yet. It looks like that's going to be all she wrote. The army size is down to absolutely nothing. The good game, dude, going down. So, good game. It was quite exciting. They were actually quite evenly matched. Shadyr is going to get knocked down to the losers bracket. However, I feel like both of these players did quite well. It was an entertaining game, and we'll see what happens as we move farther on in